Students, in the previous video lectures, we have learnt few problems related to Kirchhoff laws and finding equivalent resistance of different resistors connected in series or parallel. We will continue our discussion regarding solving problems. So today also we will solve few standard model problems where I will be explaining you to find out effective resistance in all these problems. These are standard models. You need to use the same concepts for other problems also. In the figure displayed on the screen, you have some n number of resistors. There are few resistors here, and you cannot exactly tell which resistors are connected in series and which are connected in parallel. In such cases, what you will do? You will be either going for symmetry rules or selecting the points where there is equal potentials. There you can eliminate the resistors. So any of those two models, like which I have explained in the previous video lecture, you can use them and you can solve this problem also. Now let me make it clear. These are the 2 points, A and E are the 2 points where you are supposed to find out effective resistance. You should find out effective resistance between points A and E. Now checking these all resistors, all the value of all these resistors are identical. Their values are R. Every resistor is having resistance R. And this is a symmetrical about an axis, and that can be either y-axis or x-axis. I want to find out effective resistance between A and E. Therefore, I will be selecting horizontal axis of symmetry. With respect to this horizontal axis, I am considering it is symmetrical above the axis and as well as below the axis. Above the axis, whatever the resistor values are there, same are being repeated even below the horizontal axis, and the points are also identical. You can check them. Exactly, the above portion is mirror image for below portion. Remember, in order to seeing the problem, you need to decide whether it is horizontally symmetrical or vertically symmetrical. In some cases, it may be vertically symmetrical, horizontally it may not be symmetrical. So in this case, you cannot take, you are supposed to find out effective resistance between A and E. That is the reason why I am choosing horizontal symmetry rather than going for vertical symmetry. Okay. Now, according to this, the point B and point D both are identical. Point F and point H are identical. Therefore, you can fold this circuit. Above part can be coincided in such a way F and H are identical, B and D are identical. Or you can fold bottom part upward or upward portion bottom. It is vice versa. You need to fold it. So for that, let me mark those potential points. This is A. Okay. Between A and B, there are few resistors. First, let me take, this is point B. First, identify how many resistors are connected between point A and B. B and D are identical. B and D are identical, right? So B above and D bottom. B and D are identical. So how many resistors are connected in between A and B? There is one resistor above and there is one resistor below. This one is completed. This one is completed. Next, from B to C, we have few resistors. Let me take, this is C. From B to C, there is one resistor, this upper portion, and in the bottom portion from D to C, there is one more resistor. This part is completed. Next, you have 2 points F and H. From D to H, we have few resistors from D to H. So this is B and D. From D to H, I am considering this as H and F. H and F are identical. Check it out. Therefore, in between D to H, there is one resistor. And in between B to F, there is one resistor. So this resistor is joined. This resistor is joined. Next, what is left over? From E to F, you have one resistor, but we did not mark E. We have marked only C. And we have resistor from F to G and H to G. So I'll be taking that upward, like here I'll be taking. Let me consider this position as G. This position as G. Okay. Now from F to G, okay. One thing we'll do, we'll take this G here. I'll take that G here. Between H and G, there is one resistor. Between H and G, there is one resistor. I have cancelled that. And between F and G, there is one resistor. Between F and G, there is one resistor. I have cancelled that. And how many still resistors are left over? Between C and G, there is one resistor. This one is also completed. Still, there are three resistors left over with. That is between E and F, there is one resistor. I am considering this point as E. Right? So between E and F, there is one resistor between E and F that I have cancelled. Between E and H, there is one resistor that I have cancelled. And still there is one resistor in between A and E. I want to now find out effective resistance between these 2 points. Okay. Now these two resistors are connected in parallel. What is the effective resistance? It is R by 2. These two resistors are connected in parallel. That is R by 2. These two resistors are connected in parallel. Effective is R by 2. These two are connected in parallel. Effective is R by 2. These two are also connected in parallel. Effective is R by 2. Okay. So you can redraw this circuit. You can redraw the circuit as one resistor here, another resistor here. These are the points A and E. So you should find out effective resistance of this. That become very easy. Check it up. This is R by 2. This is R by 2. This is R. And this is R by 2. This is R by 2. This is R by 2. And this is R. R by 2, R and R by 2. These are connected in series. So R by 2 and R by 2 become R. R and R are in series, that become 2R. So till here it become 2R. This is 2R. And 2R in parallel with this R by 2. So that gives you 2R into R by 2 divided by 2R plus R by 2. This is equal to 2 and 2 gets cancelled. This is R square divided by 1 by 2, 2, 4, 5 R divided by 2. This R and R gets cancelled. This gives you R by 1 into 2 by 5. So that is 2R by 5. What is the effective value till here? Effective value till here will be 2R by 5. 2R by 5. And that 2R by 5 is connected in series with this R by 2 and with this R by 2. So I can write it as R by 2 and R by 2 become R. It is R plus 2R by 5 is equal to 5R plus 2R. It is 7R divided by 5. Till here, what is the effective value? It is 7R divided by 5. That is in parallel with this R. So therefore, R equivalent is equal to 7R by 5 into R divided by 7R by 5 plus R. This is equal to 7R square by 5 divided by 7 plus 5, 13R divided by 5. Am I right? So 13 R by 5. This and this gets cancelled. R and R gets cancelled. It is 7 by 13 R. That is the effective resistance of the circuit. So final answer 7R divided by 12. That's not 13. It is 12. So 7 by 12 R is the effective resistance between A and E. Any doubt? Is the concept clear? సో ఇలాంటి సర్క్యూట్లలో మనం జాయింట్స్ ని తీయడానికి లేదా రెసిస్టర్స్ ని ఎలిమినేట్ చేయడానికి ఉండదు. కాబట్టి మీరు అన్ని ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ని రెండు మెథడ్లలో సాల్వ్ చేయడం అనేది ఆలోచించకండి. మనం ఆ సర్క్యూట్ ని చూసిన తర్వాత ఏది యాప్ట్ అవుతుందో ఆ పర్టికులర్ మెథడ్ ని యూజ్ చేయాలి. సో ఈ కేసులో మనము రెసిస్టర్స్ ని ఎలిమినేట్ చేయడానికి కుదరదు. అన్నిట్లల్లో ఎఫెక్టివ్ రెసిస్టెన్స్ ఎఫెక్టివ్ కరెంట్ పాస్ అవుతుంది. సో అలాంటి కేసెస్లలో సిమెట్రికల్ మెథడ్ యూజ్ చేస్తే ప్రాబ్లమ్ ఈజీగా సాల్వ్ చేయొచ్చు. కరెంట్ డివిజన్ తీసుకొని చేసేదానికన్నా సిమెట్రికల్ మెథడ్ యూజ్ చేస్తే ఈజీగా సాల్వ్ చేయొచ్చు ప్రాబ్లమ్. అట్లా అని కరెంట్ మెథడ్ తీసుకుంటే సాల్వ్ చేయలేమని కాదు, చేయొచ్చు. దీంట్లో కూడా కరెంట్ డివిజన్ తీసుకొని ప్రాబ్లం సాల్వ్ చేయొచ్చు. కానీ దానికి కొంచెం కన్ఫ్యూజన్ ఉంటుంది, కొంచెం ఎక్కువ టైం కూడా పట్టే ఛాన్సెస్ ఉంటాయి ఇట్లాంటి సర్క్యూట్లలో. కాబట్టి రెండు మెథడ్లలో మీరు ఏదో ఒక మెథడ్ ని స్ట్రిక్ట్ గా ఫాలో కండి, మీకు ఫైనల్ ఆన్సర్ వచ్చేస్తుంది. సో ఒకటి ఏంటంటే మీరు పొటెన్షియల్ పాయింట్స్ ని మార్క్ చేసుకొని సర్క్యూట్ ని రీడ్రా చేయండి. జస్ట్ మీరు సర్క్యూట్ ని రీడ్రా చేసేస్తే సరిపోతుంది. మీకు మిగిలిందంతా యాజ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఏవేవి సిరీస్ లో ఏవేవి ప్యారలల్ ఉన్నాయో తెలిసిపోతుంది. సర్క్యూట్ రీడ్రా చేయడమే చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ టాస్క్. So this is one more important model where you can use symmetry rules and we can solve this problem. Next we have one more question. There is some current, 1 milliampere of current is passing through. సో ఇక్కడ మీరు సిమెట్రీ యూజ్ చేయడానికన్నా కరెంట్ డివిజన్ చేసుకుంటే మీకు ప్రాబ్లమ్ ఈజీగా సాల్వ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. జాగ్రత్తగా చూడండి, ఇక్కడ సిమెట్రీ యూజ్ చేయడానికి అంత కన్వీనియంట్ కాదు, ఎందుకంటే అన్ని వేరు వాల్యూ రెసిస్టర్స్ ఉన్నాయి ఇక్కడ. Students, all the values of resistors are being given to you in the problem. You are supposed to find out equivalent resistance and voltage. In order to find out equivalent resistance, first assume the circuit. Now checking this circuit, 2 kilo ohm and 6 kilo ohm both are connected in series. This 2 kilo ohm, 6 kilo ohm become 8 kilo ohm. 8 kilo ohm, 8 kilo ohm both are connected in parallel. So therefore it becomes 4 kilo ohm. This 4 kilo ohm I am drawing it here. 4 kilo ohm. Okay, and remaining part of the circuit is drawn as it is. Now let us assume, as it is been given, 1 milliampere of current is passing through the circuit. So 1 milliampere start and it enter into this point. I am marking this point as P, this point as A, and this point as Q. Okay, now current 1 milliampere comes to this point P. As these two resistors are 4 kilo ohm and 4 kilo ohm, it get divided into equal parts. One is 0.5 milliampere, other one is 0.5 milliampere. Next, come to point Q. At point Q, current should enter, and definitely the current which is entering into this should become 1 milliampere. So whatever the current is coming towards this Q, same current should be coming to the overall circuit, and that should be definitely 1 milliampere. So in order to get 1 milliampere to this point Q, it should get 0.5 milliampere from this part and 0.5 milliampere from this part. So from the symmetry of current, you can clearly understand that the current division which is taking place at P, that 0.5 milliampere is directly coming to this Q without any division of current at point A. So at this point A, there is no current division taking place. As there is no current division taking place at A, I will just redraw the circuit by removing this connection. So simply I'll redraw the circuit by removing this joint. I have removed the joint. If I remove the joint, check it up what happened. 4 kilo ohm, 4 kilo ohm, both are in series. That become 8. 8 and 4 both are connected in parallel. You will be getting that effective. And that is in series with 4K and 4K. And that is in parallel with this 4K and 4K. And that is in series with this 1 kilo ohm. Finally, you can find out effective resistance. Once getting effective resistance, you can find out V is equal to IR equivalent. I is I is 1 milliampere current. R equivalent you should calculate. Substitute in this relation. You will be getting net voltage in the circuit. Students, we have one more question here. And in this question also, you are supposed to find out equivalent resistance. You should find out R equivalent. What is the effective R equivalent? You are supposed to find out. So whenever you want to find out effective resistance in these kind of circuits, whenever a cubical circuit of identical resistors are being given and you are supposed to find out resistance, equivalent resistance between any 2 points, you can find out equivalent resistance between A and B. You can find out equivalent resistance between A and D. You can find out equivalent resistance between A and G. Like this, we have many number of, we have 8 vertex. In between any 2 points, you can find out the effective resistance in between any 2 points. In this problem, you are supposed to find out effective resistance between A and H. I'll explain this one. Remaining you can do it by yourself. So in between exactly opposite diagonals of this cube, body diagonals. In between body diagonals of this cube, you are supposed to find out the effective resistance. RAH is equal to how much? Now whenever you are being given such cubical circuits, what you need to do, use the procedure like current division takes place according to the resistors. Now I am considering some voltage is being provided here. Voltage as it is being provided, current will be flowing through these resistors from positive terminal to negative terminal. I am considering that some current I come to this region H. Now check it up. From H there are 3 paths. 1, 2 and 3. From H there are 3 paths. As there are 3 paths and the value of resistors are also equal, 1 ohm, 1 ohm, 1 ohm. This current get divided into 3 parts. One part I by 3 into this, and into second part I by 3 comes, and into this third part I by 3 comes. Okay. So at H, current get divided into 3 parts. At H, current is divided into 3 parts equally. Okay. Now come to number 2. When it is being divided into equal parts, now come to these positions D, F and G. Current come from HD, and from H it goes to G, and from H it goes to F. Now let us take path H and D. Now when this current come over here H and D, at this point D, it has two paths of equal resistance R and R. Therefore, I by 3 get divided into two parts that become I by 6, and here it become I by 6. Okay, I by 6 come and it get divided at D. Mark that. At D, current is divided into two parts equally. Similarly, at G and as well as F also. At G and F, current gets divided into two parts equally. So you can clearly write that value. The value of that current can be simply written here. Come to this. There will be I by 6 current entering here. There will be I by 6 current entering here. Next, come to G. At G, we have division into two parts, that is I by 6 and this is I by 6. Okay. Now, I by 6 is coming from here and I by 6 is coming from here. Next, I by 6 is coming from here. I by 6 is coming from here and totally it become I by 3. Next, to this it become I by 3 because I by 6 is coming from D to C, and from G to C I by 6, I by 6, I by 6 sum up to give I by 3, and I by 3 current will be flowing from C to A. Next, from E to A, same I by 3 current comes. That is how current division takes place in different parts of the nodes of different nodes of the circuit. Now come to number 3. So after division of current, what you need to do? Use Kirchhoff voltage law between the points where we need to find R equivalent. So take proper path. In this problem, as you are supposed to find out effective resistance between A and H, you can take any one path. Okay, I'll mark that path with blue ink. Check it up. Start from A. You are traveling along this path. A to B, B to D, D to H, and from H you are returning back and you are going through this battery, and then finally you are reaching the same point A. Okay, this is one path. Likewise, you can take any path. So why to take A, B, D, H? You can take another path also. Go for A, C, D, H. Or even you can go with A, E, G, H. Or you can take another path, A, C, G, H. You can take path as your wish. Path is independent. Like you can take any path in this case, but remember, path should start from A and it should come towards H. Any one path you take, it should start from A and it should come towards H, because you are finding effective resistance between A and H. Suppose if you are asked to find out effective resistance between A and G, take path only between A and G. Only one path you take, start at A and come to G along with the battery. Suppose you are supposed to find out effective resistance between A and D. Take A as the starting point, D as the end point. Take one completed path along with that battery. Okay. In this case, it is between A and H. I am selecting the path which is marked with blue ink. Now start from A. For loop A, B, D, H, A. This is the loop. I will be now writing KVL equation. Start from A. You are going opposite direction to that of current. Therefore, it becomes plus. How much is current in the circuit? I by 3 and resistance is R. Of course, I'll use that 1 ohm later. So I by 3 R. And next from B, you are going to D. So you are going against to the current direction, so you should take it plus. Current is I by 6, resistance is R, and from D to H you are going opposite, it is I by 3 and R, and you are going towards this battery from positive terminal to negative, minus V is equal to 0, right? Now I can take I, R common. 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3, it is 2 by 3 plus 1 by 6 is equal to V. Now this become IR into 12 plus 3 divided by 3 into 6 is equal to V. 12 plus 3 is 15, 3 5 is 15, 5 by 6. 5 by 6 IR is equal to V. R is equal to 1 ohm. Therefore, V is equal to 5I divided by 6. This is V, which is 5I by 6. Okay, V we have calculated. But what is the effective resistance in between R and A and H? We have V is equal to I into R AH. Now equate these two. This is number 1 and this is number 2. From 1 and 2 we can write I R AH is equal to 5I divided by 6. This I and I gets cancelled. R AH is equal to 5 by 6. This is the value of resistance which is in between A and H model. So suppose you have got another circuit like this. You are supposed to find out effective resistance between A and F. Use the same procedure. Between A and F, just connect one battery whose voltage is V. Start from here. Current I comes to this point A. It get divided into 3 parts. I by 3, I by 3, I by 3, because all the values, all the effective resistor values are equal. R. Now this I by 3 gets divided into 2 parts. I by 6 and I by 6. From here it get divided into 2 parts. I by 6 and I by 6. Okay. And I by 6 coming over here and it become I by 3. I by 6 coming over here and check it up. From this point, from D it is I by 6 coming. And this I by 3 which is coming to D get divided into 2 parts. I by 6 and I by 6. Okay. I by 6 coming here, it become I by 3. Okay. I by 6 from D to G, I by 6 from D to G, B to G and D to G, I by 6 joins to become I by 3. Okay. So finally, all the current values are known. Take any one single path. Take one single path. Find out the effective resistance. Path మీరు డైరెక్ట్ గా A నుంచి F path తీసుకోకుండా మీరు కొంచెం lengthy path తీసుకోండి. So you can take this path. Start from here A, and you can travel along this. You can take this path. A, E, and F. Even you can take this path also. It's not an issue. Effective value of resistor will be very less. You will be getting very small value in this case. So if you are supposed to find out effective resistance between these two, A and F, you'll just divide the currents and take one single path, apply KVL, and use the basic relation. You will be getting V is equal to some I into R value. You will be getting some R, some X by Y R you will be getting. Just equate it this with I R equivalent. So R equivalent will become X by Y into R. This is the final answer. Definitely in between any 2 points, you will be getting a value in terms of X by Y. Like some value you will be getting there. Now let us learn Joule's law. As we already know that you are taking a conducting wire, and this conducting wire have some resistance R which is equal to rho L divided by A. And you are connecting this to a battery of potential V volt. Some current flow through this circuit. Same current will be flowing through this also I. and there is electric field set up within the circuit, and that electric field is in opposite direction to that of the current direction. So electric field will be, I'm sorry, electric field will be from positive terminal to negative terminal of the battery. Electrons will be drifted in opposite direction. We are taking reference conventional current. As I already told you, whenever there is some current flowing through the circuit, definitely there is some resistance. So whenever there is resistance due to collisions, electrons lost its kinetic energy, and as a result heat is produced in the wire. Okay, so there is some heat developed in the circuit. Whenever an electric current is flowing through the circuit, definitely some heat is developed, and this was proposed by Joule, and it is named under named on the honor Joule's law. So Joule's law states that when current flow through the circuit, heat is generated, it is produced, and that heat produced, H, is directly proportional to work done by battery. So therefore heat produced is directly proportional to work done, where H is heat produced, heat is directly proportional to work done. How much amount of work is being done by the battery, that much amount of heat will be developed here, right? Now as we know, work done W is equal to V into Q, where V is potential difference between the potential difference supplied by the battery, Q is the charge passing through. I can write Q is equal to IT, so simply it is VIT. Okay, now you can substitute that here. You can write H is proportional to VIT, therefore H is proportional to current in the circuit and time taken. Remember, we can also write V is equal to IR. Just substitute that here. H is equal to I, or proportional to I square RT. Therefore, you can simply write heat produced in the circuit is directly proportional to square of current, where resistance is constant for that particular wire, and T is time taken. Of course, time taken in particular time, H is directly proportional to I square if R and T are constants. If R and T are not constants, then you need to take H variable with respect to R and T also. So H is directly proportional to square of current if R and T are constants. Clear? And we can even write W is equal to JQ, where J is called Joule's constant. Where J is called Joule's constant. Joule's constant is W divided by Q, and its value is 4.18 calorie. 4.18 joule per calorie. Unit of work done is joule, and unit of heat I am taking it in calorie. So remember that J is equal to 4.18 joule per calorie. That is the value of J, where J is Joule's constant. So whenever it is Joule's constant taken, you can simply write it as 4.18. Its value is numerically equal to 4.18. So W is equal to JQ, where J is Joule's constant. That means work done by the battery is directly proportional to heat produced in the circuit, or heat produced in the circuit is directly proportional to work done by the battery. This is termed as Joule's law. Clear?